Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. And I'll tell you right off, in the interest of time, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. There will be plenty of mixed media on this layout, but my background is actually it's already done. It's this lovely background, which really matches the background in the original. This original is by Nastya Istorkina. I probably butchered that, but I'm horribly impressed with her layout. I love it, and I hope I can do it justice. I'm going to make a Christmas layout out of it, so where you see those diamonds and so forth, I'm going to put trees, and maybe I'll even put some trees upside down in order to do this. But it's basically a strip of photos with a bunch of layers behind it, including what looks like some washi tape and some clusters here and here. And then the background has this wonderful kind of bokeh effect. And I'm gonna maybe add to that a little bit. We'll see. But my background paper is from 49 and Market, and it's Vintage Artistry Beached. And it is the B-side of the cut apart cards. So it's a wonderful layout, and it's very, very thick, so I think it'll take any other mixed media that we add onto it. So I'm probably going to start right off by, I've got a mix of white paint and gesso and water in here, which I'll add some splatters, and I'm going to do a lot of stamping in black, but I'm probably going to create a couple of areas right here and here that will kind of be at the bottom of my photo cluster. My photos are of the mall, kind of the center of the Avalon Mall here in Alpharetta, which has beautiful decorations, a beautiful fountain that's changing colors, and an ice skating area. And there's the theater. This red area there is the theater where we went to see the new Spider-Man movie. And then here are all the kind of stars that are suspended over it all, and these are the ice skaters there. So just 3 photos. I took a couple of them and James took one, and I've got some 6x6 pattern papers that have some of the same as the background color. This one has this hot pink and this background color, and then I've got a navy blue with stars and another piece right there, so we'll be adding that. But I'm going to go with, so mine's not going to be quite as monochrome as this one is. So I'm going to do something silly right now. I'm going to spray some water on some Salty Ocean Distress Oxide. And I'm going to use this paintbrush to kind of add that color in here, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water and kind of move it around. I want sort of a scratched on kind of look. I don't know if that makes much sense, but not quite that scratchy. But and then I want it a blended scratchy. So, and this isn't quite as good as my I might just get my finger in there and do something. I'm actually going to be doing so much stamping over it that it's not going to make much difference. I'm going to try going the other way with it, just wetting an area and kind of doing that to add a little bit more color down there. Okay, that's done. I will add some of these splatters at the end, but right now I want to add some like on top of this and kind of let it get dry while we assemble the photo cluster. I'm going to let that dry as much as possible, and then I'll go over it with a paper towel before we start stamping. So I'll get my paper towels at the ready. And I'm going to move this over here for a bit, and then I'll bring the photos in. I have matted the photos, but I'm going to kind of create a panel across by, this is and I've got my measurement right here, 12 by 12, so it doesn't need to go all the way across, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of glue it together like that. And I'll cover that seam with a photo, so not a big issue there. Well, it would be good for it to stick. Okay, now I'm gonna do the photos kind of a little wonky. I'm gonna try to see. This is the one that was taken first, and it's got the I'm going to get a little bit of foam to go behind the photos. This is the one that shows the theater and looks down. You can see a little bit of the, little view of the ice skaters. So I'm going to put that kind of right there, and I'll do this one. At a slightly different angle and going up. And then this one. And then I may trim some off of the end here, because I should have placed the middle one in the middle. I just wanted to be sure we covered up that seam. So this is kind of good there. Okay. And I don't necessarily have to trim that, but I think I will, just to get a little bit closer to an even, okay. So that's gonna be there. I've got I wanna do a torn, well, okay. I want this to go behind it like that, which I think will really be a nice contrast. Get that evenly spread across there. It's not parallel. Okay, come on. I'm gonna have to stand up to get this even. Because everything's at wonky angles. I kind of miscued there. I've got this piece of paper that I'm gonna tear. and put in kind of right here under the photo strip, and I'll tuck it in under those, all three of the photos if I can get it there. That works. And then I think I'm gonna tear this as well. And maybe tear it up like that so it has a different edge. Maybe put it, no, I think I like it like that. And what I'm gonna do, actually, is I'll just I lost it all the way down in there. I'll do that. And now I'm going to go back to this. Make sure that's showing there. And I'll use this to somewhat blot up that paint. It still is leaving some nice painty splotches there, which is great. Now the photo cluster is going to go there. And my idea is this, where there's this cluster of diamond shapes over here. And then there's kind of a little bit there. I'm going to use the large tree. I've got a large tree outline that I'm going to ink up with VersaFine. And I almost hate doing this, but I'm going to put it over that white paint like that. And I'm going to overlay that with another one at a different height, like that. Okay, and there's a little bit of kind of overlap touching going on there. I'm gonna put one upside down over here. I'm gonna have it like that. Okay. Now, I think I'm done with that stamp, but I'm going to leave it on the block. I have blocks for all my, separate blocks for all my stamps. This one, this tree is a solid tree. And oh, by the way, the stamps I'm using, let me show you that. It is called Christmas Chaos by Visible Image. And it has the outline of the tree. It has this holly with a kind of a grid pattern, and the word holly is there. Merry Christmas. It has this solid tree. It has this strip, which I'm going to try to stamp down at the bottom of where the photo strip is. And it has this little kind of doodled looking tree. So I'm going to use them all. I've got them all, I've pulled them all off of the acetate and onto blocks. So let me do this one. I'm going to do this one in this Salty Ocean color. And I'm going to do it. And I've wet the Salty Ocean, so it's going to come out kind of cute. I'm going to do, let me kind of place this here. I want it to go kind of right where that open spot is. That's cool. And I'm going to do another one down here. And another one right there. Okay, all different heights, all different kinds of looks there. Okay, now I have, okay, so that's gonna go there. It's kind of shaping up nicely, I think. I don't know that I need any anything on the back here. What I do want to do is see where to stamp my title, and I'm going to do that. My title is just going to be this Merry Christmas. And I think I'm going to do it maybe overlap, well, I would overlap the tree, except you might not be able to read it. So, how about if I did it over here, or if I stamped a blue tree? We'll see. I'm going to put that off to the side right now. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And let me test it on here. Yeah. Okay, so that's on there. And then my next, I've got this on too. I want to put a star on the top of this tree, the tallest tree that shows there. So this one's going to definitely need some testing because I need to see which way is up. I think that's the way. So I need to be sure. I'm going to peel this stamp off so that I can see where this one goes. I'm going to stand up to get it right. I'm going to turn this around and ink it up a little bit better. And I'm going to go like that. Okay, so it's clearly a star, and the word star is there. It's kind of goofy and messy, and that's perfectly fine. I'll put that, I'll peel that one off and put it there in the tray. Now this is the holly, and I have no idea which direction it goes. Let's see, the word holly is right there. So it goes like that. Okay. And I'm going to do this kind of halfway overlapping that. Okay, that's kind of cute. And it gives it that kind of, oh, I don't know, messy sort of look. So we're getting, I think, a little bit close to the point where I may need to put the photos down. Do I want to do the holly again? I think I've probably done all that. The one that I'm going to repeat a lot is this little guy right here, but I don't want to do it yet. Okay, so right here would be a good place to do this guy. I need to be sure it's right. Okay, so I can do it there. And let me pull this out and kind of see it's kind of hitting right in the kind of the middle of that little blue tree. So let's ink it up. And if this is so messy that we can't read it, then that's okay. I thought I'd do a Christmas, an oddball Christmas layout, since tomorrow's Christmas Eve. It didn't completely do the circles down there, so I may need to do some little trees or something to kind of mess it up, kind of grunge it up. Okay, now, the next thing I want to do, before I put the photo cluster down, is run strips of washi tape. And I've got this washi tape. I probably should have peeled it to get it started off camera. And I really cannot see where that ends. But it has the little red and pink flowers and greenery. This is from a crepe paper collection from a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure it came in a Mind the Scrap kit. And it's cute and doesn't have to be totally all the way across. So I'm going to let it stick out kind of beyond where I think the photo cluster will be. That needs, I have the torn edge on the wrong side there. Let me do that. And I'm not trying to line them up. I'm going to kind of intentionally have them a little offset from one another. And this one is peeling off pretty well. I'll just tear a strip of that and kind of place it at a wonky angle to that one. And here I'll do another one kind of like that, and maybe stick it out a little bit. And then I'm going to get a dark green narrow tape and kind of have it there. And let's see, we'll do another bit like here. And I've got these holly berries. If that one will cooperate like the others did, then we've just about got it done. Okay, now let's see what that looks like. We'll do that right there. Okay, I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and commit and put my tape on, and then we'll do some finishing touches. Kind of get it down like that. Only a little bit over. Okay, and I cut this. This is a punch that I had that kind of has a line of ornaments, and I thought I'd put it in at a wonky angle and glue it. This glue is not full, so. And this is kind of taking off the, taking a cue from the original that has you know, kind of some torn paper and some things sticking out at odd angles. Okay, so that's not coming out. I'm gonna play with that again. This is a shame that these problems are resurfacing, because I kind of had it. One of you wonderful viewers shared with me that if I store them upside down, they might flow better. Well, that one's not working either. Tell you what I'm going to do. I've got one more to try that's upside down. No, must be the humidity or the temperature or something. I'm going to kind of put a little bit of this tape there and a little bit here, and I'll cover over that with some sequins or flare or something. Okay, so here, that kind of works, and I'm going to put the lids on these just not to make things worse. And I know I haven't stamped the little trees yet, but I'm getting ready to do that now that I've seen, you know, I see the composition. So I want to just really pepper this with lots of these. And I'm going to do this one kind of right there, and maybe another one right there. And I'm going to do this one right here, and then I'm going to do one right side up just to confuse things. And I'll put it right next to it. That would be kind of a cool thing. And it didn't stamp all the way, which is even better. Okay. And then I'm going to put one right here. And one here. And one right there. And here. And here. And just kind of have them leading off the page. This may be one of the most oddball lifts I've ever done, but I'm actually liking it a lot. I think right now I'm going to go back and see where my Noel flare can go, and I was kind of thinking somewhere in conjunction with that, the end of this little guy. I've got a blue flare with stars, and I thought maybe it could go right there. And I have a lighter blue one with stars, and it could maybe, oops, maybe go right here on that big tree. And then I have some little tiny bits that were cut out of the, or punched out. When I punched this out, these little swirls came out, and I thought they would be cute. And I'm gonna put them around in a few places, and I'm going to glue them there once I get some glue actually running. And then I'm going to put white sequins around with those. So then it'll be done. In the meantime, I'm going to bring this up so you can see it a little bit more closely. And I thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, happy holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, and I wish you a very prosperous and healthy new year. So thank you very much for all your support and for watching and keeping up with me on Mixed Media Frenzy and other challenges. And I really appreciate all of that. I'm going to go ahead right now and do some more splattering all around. I'm getting some big kind of blotchy splatters, which is good for this page. And I'm going to splatter on top of the stamping so you don't notice where I missed the stamping. Okay, I think we're going to call it done, and I'm going to stop the video. Thank you very much. Stop the madness.